Welcome back, everyone. TV5 News at 9. It is time again for Aging in Style with Vitale Wealth Management. We got the president and owner, Joe Vitale, with us. Good morning, Joe.
Morning, Blake. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, thanks.
Good. Okay, so don't forget that Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals. You can get all the latest in market trends and financial news by scanning the QR code on your screen. And today's topic is how this year's presidential election may affect your retirement. So we've seen the market come so far this year. What happens to the market historically, Joe, around election time?
Well, a lot of times the market is up because regardless right now we have kind of a mixed Congress and everything. So it's traditionally pretty good. In an election year, it usually is a pretty good year. Depending what a lot of people, oh my gosh, it's going to go to hell in a handbasket. This is going to happen. This is going. You know what? Stay invested. Stop trying to time the market. Just keep with the proper allocations and you're fine. We've seen both Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. It actually does matter. But we've seen historically what's been happening all the way through, and the best course of action is to just stay invested, make sure you've got cash on hand, make sure you're properly allocated, and you don't have to worry. Those who try to time the market, it's not going to work. Stay invested.
Is it even like importance to pay attention to the election season around it, you know, with our stuff?
You know, I think the biggest thing is it's always good to stay on top of it.
Okay.
But as far as trying to say, okay, well, this is going to go this way, we got to get out, we got to get in, I've seen it both ways.
Okay. And
historically, bottom line is stay invested. You're going to be better than anybody else. You'll get double-digit returns over time. You know, so that's why it kind of goes back to like a lot of people when you look at 2008, what happened with the Great Recession, right? Everybody's like, oh, election, this is going to happen, everything's going to go. Guess what happened? If you would have stayed invested after the Great Recession, you would have been made whole in just a couple of years. But everybody pulled out, not everybody, people pulled out, they panicked, they tried to time it, never made it up. So it's always good just to keep with the fundamentals and stop trying to play it.
Perfect. And what about the role elections play on our taxes?
It's big time, because what you're looking at is, look back to 2017, the Trump tax rollback. When that happened, reduced the taxes from 15 to 12, 24 to 22, and 28 to 24. Well, guess what? Those are going to expire at the end of 2025. Now, Biden already says if he gets back in, those are going to expire, period, end of story. Trump says, well, we're going to try to keep it low, right? Over time, it does have an effect. We've had $7 trillion plus of spending. What that tells you is where they're going to get the money. They're going to have to raise taxes. So taxes, you're going to see that is going to be an effect. Some have the idea that they have to raise it. Some don't. So it all depends. We are going to see a difference. So definitely be prepared. I think taxes, regardless, are going to go up. But that's why if we could take advantage of taxes in the next 2 years, we got to take advantage of it and do some Roth conversions and making sure we're planning ahead.
One thing about your website, you offer a tax bill calculator analyzing potential tax savings in retirement. Can you tell us how it works and then, you know, what people need to do if they want to figure it out?
It's a great strategy. You just basically click on that QR code, you put in what your IRA value is, you put in what your 401k value is, and it will tell you the benefits of doing a Roth conversion and how much you will save over time in taxes. Because what you're going to do is you're going to pay taxes on your required minimum distributions. Then if you use that money and reinvest it, you're going to pay taxes on that. And then if you die and never use it all, your kids are going to pay taxes on it. And guess what? Probably at a higher tax bracket than you are in retirement. So by doing the Roth conversion, even at a smart way, we don't have to go crazy. We have to look at, and that's what it's going to show you. So we can fine tune it from there. That's going to give you a first idea. But there's also great strategies by doing Roth conversions and by doing other strategies for tax-free income. Without messing up your Social Security, you got to be careful, because if you do too much income, your Medicare premiums are going to go up. So we have that. We look at all that.
All right, and what about those tax-free withdrawals that come from a Roth IRA? Is it too early to be thinking about something like this?
It's the smartest thing in the world to start thinking of. But you definitely want to start doing the IRA, the Roth conversions. You want to start doing those. That way, down the road, you'll have money you can withdraw tax-free. Because a lot of times nobody realizes, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to pay tax on my IRA, right? But then 10 years goes by and, oh, I need a new roof for $30,000. And, oh, I've got to take it out of my IRA. So now they got to pay tax on their Social Security, may go into a higher tax bracket. And if you would have just been smart, you know, not that you're not being smart, but had you been in the know of what to do and been educated on it, you would have a tax-free bucket of money that wouldn't affect your Social Security, wouldn't put you into a higher bracket, and now you can not worry as much.
So is that basically they jumped the gun?
Or didn't plan properly. Absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So inflation, interest rates are still pretty high.
Yeah.
How can retirees manage their cash flow and income in retirement? These are trying times for pretty much anyone.
You know, there's a lot of good strategies because you wish at Social Security we get that little inflation adjustment every year. Okay. Hopefully, right? Not all the time, but a lot of times it does. But those on pensions, guess what? They don't have inflation adjusters in there. It's that and that's it. There are products out there. There's a lot of great annuities out there, and I'm not all about putting everything into annuities. I think there's a place for them. But there are some that could replicate a pension but also have an inflation adjustment in there that every year you get an increase in your income, which really helps in these times. So it's definitely something that needs to be looked at. I like to keep, when it's safe money, I like to keep safe money safe. Yeah. A lot of my clients, they'll have like a lump sum pension buyout, right? And they're going to take their pension, but it always stays the same. But if I can take the lump sum and turn it into an increasing income that's guaranteed, oh my gosh. And then if you pass away, heaven forbid, early, it goes to your family as opposed to them keeping all the money. Right. That's a win-win. Okay. So we like to look at all those strategies. All
right, Joe, wrap this up with what an investor nearing or in retirement should do.
They should call 833-NO-JOE. I'm just saying. Okay, but other than that,
that's always.
That's always. You want to make sure that you look at everything. You know, too many times people say, well, "I know how to do this. I'm going to do this on my own." They don't have you don't have everything in your arsenal. You don't have all the arrows in your quiver. Right. What are you going to do for guaranteed income? What are you going to do for strategies? And the biggest thing is if you're nearing retirement, even if you're smart as heck, you know, I got all these engineers, right, and all these people are so smart, but they don't have all the tools. They don't. I mean, they're great, but you also have what's called emotions, and people get emotionally invested and they make bad decisions because of emotions. Yeah. So get somebody involved who's a holistic advisor, who's looking out for the best, like myself or our firm. There's a lot of good people out there, but we really try to do what's right for our families and take the emotions out of there, make sure that all the tools are utilized, and make sure we can protect what you've got.
So all I got to say is, you know, talking about money, retirement, taxes, it can be a little bit stressful, but Joe, thanks for keeping it fun.
My pleasure. Yes. Mike. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. Before we go, don't forget to get those market updates and more through Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals. Just scan the QR code on your screen. And for more information on the topic today, head over to the Aging in Style page on WNEM.com.